want to add other features right now. And what are the features? First of all, if we, for instance, if you open your application, this is what you're going to see. Let's just say you go live on index.html, right? This is what you see. This is what you should see. But what we want is that we should only see this for like, let's say 2 seconds or 3 seconds. And automatically this should take you to the next, which is welcome.html. Then you can now go ahead and start writing whatever it's doing. Now, how exactly are you going to do this? How is it going to work? Now, one thing that you can do is that what you can do, you can use. How can we even do this? Yes, that's true. How can we do it? Let me stop asking questions. What you can do right now is that you can use your event listener. And what type of event listener are we going to use? An unload property. Now, what does that mean? After loading your screen, in 2 seconds after loading this particular page, it should take you from this particular page to another page. And we're going to use a set timeout to implement it. So how are we going to do it? I'm going to create a new JavaScript file in this place. So I'm going to call it new.js. Now, this new.js is where my functionality for this is going to go. So I can just say, and let me give it change page feature. Change page feature. Now, what exactly is going to happen? What's going to happen now is that on this particular new.js, I'm going to call a particular function that says function, right? So I'm going to say change page. So we're not going to give it a set timeout. So we're going to say set timeout. Now this particular set timeout function, right, is going to be 2000 milliseconds. Then where is it going to change? It has to change page from where is it? From index.html to where to welcome.html. So we can say window.location.href, right, equals to what? Welcome.html. Now we can go ahead and call this function out here. Okay, so we've done it, right? So I'm going to tie this index.html to that script tag. So I'm going to say script source. Then I'm going to say new.js. Now, try it again and see what happens. So I'm going to refresh. After 2 seconds, it should change. As you can see, it changed automatically to welcome. Now, the reason why it changed, as you can see in the body, I added what? Unload property of what? Change. Now, normally in your, another way to say it, if you are working with functions, after declaring my function, what am I supposed to do? Just call it out here, right? But since it's going to be a an event, what do I have to do? Just take it to that particular element that you want it to affect, which is what this body, and then what add it there. So what property is it? What event is a loading event, unload event, then change page. I call it out automatically. So if you check it out now, you should automatically have that. So you should have it. So after 2 seconds, 1, 2, then automatically change. So now, as you can see, we have our welcome page. Now, on our welcome page, you'll be able to click on sign up. On our welcome page, you click on sign up to take us to sign up. Then also, we want to go back to login. We should be able to go back to login. Not get login. So we have to debug that. Why exactly can't it get login.js? So let's go to our sign up and let's see what we have. So sign up is saying login /login. So what we need is what to login.html. So let's go back and let's try it again. So on welcome, you can go to sign up. Then on sign up, you can go to login. So as you can see now, we have login. But right now, this is just sign up. Now, there are other things that we need to implement. And what exactly do we need to implement now? What we need to implement is this toggle button right here. And what is the toggle button? Okay, what we need to do is that whenever we write, so for instance, you're on sign up, right? Can you see sign up? Whenever, let's say I write leveltechagency@gmail.com and I write my password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Agree items and agree with policy privacy, and I click on sign up. Now, what I want is that I don't want it to just remain here. So if it signs me up now, what happens is that it just remains here. I don't want this. What I want is that it should take me from sign up to where? To login. And apart from that, this particular field here should clear up. So maybe I click on it, it will clear. So once it clears, it takes me to a login. So for it to happen, what I have to do is that I have to come to this particular place and make that work. Now, for it to change pages, what do you use? You use this particular method here, which is what? Window.location.href. Now, what this means is that what you are changing location within that particular window or within that particular website. So as you can see, changing location with what? href. You know what href is? Hyperreference. If you use your a tag a lot of times, you understand what href is. Hyperreference. So we're welcome.html. So it changes it automatically from where? Windows, from this particular location to what? href. Now that's the same thing I'm going to do here. After you've been able to sign up your user, you should be able to what? Change the location of the user. So I can just come down here and say window dot what? Location dot what? href to where? Login.html. Thank you. Now let us try it again and let's see. So if I say levy@gmail.com and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I go ahead and click on sign up, what happened? It should automatically, and immediately logged me in. What happened? It took me to login.html. So I cannot go ahead and write my login feature here. Do you understand? Now we're not doing Firebase. Do you understand this? Is it clear to us? Mr. David, is it clear? Now that's just what we are trying to do here. Now, the next feature is to make sure that we create a functionality that allows us see this particular password that is here. Now, this one, I'm very, very sure that everybody should, how do I put it? Just listen to this. This is pure JavaScript. So you should be able to understand how it's being created. 12.6. You should be able to understand how it's being created if you just put your mind to it. So now, what exactly are we going to do in this case? All right, so what are we going to do in this place? The first thing that you need to know is before doing any of these things, right? You need to know one important thing. And what is that? The important thing is that understand the things that are going to be affected, understand the things that will not be affected, because you don't need to import all of those things. Now, what exactly are you doing? We're trying to say, oh, this place. So let's this is it. This particular button, right? That hides password. So as you can see, there's on. I added 2 images. The first image is on. What is on? This is what you can see at this moment. On, meaning that what? If I tap on the on, it turns on the what? The password. Then once you tap on this on, the image will automatically change to what? Off. That's why if you notice, there is something that happens whenever you're trying to toggle password. So once you tap on that, it changes like that I cancel out. Do you get? So you understand that slash on the it changes. So I added 2. Although it's not well designed, but the purpose is functionality. So that's why I didn't really work on the design. So Now, what exactly do we need here? Okay. Now, what exactly do we need here? We need to bring in two important things. The first is what? This particular ion that we have here, and then the second has to bring in the what? The second has to bring in, okay, yes, we need the ion, we need the I off. Then we also need to bring in, let me check. So as you can see, we need ion, which has ID of what? Ion. We need to bring in I off, which has ID of what? I off. Then what do we need to do again? We need to like bring in the password, because what is it going to be checking? It's going to be checking the password. So what do we do? So we're going to say this ion, I off, then what? Password. Those are the three things we need to do. Then there also needs to be like a show button, right? The show button is not like the old button that we have here. Why? Now, I'm going to explain to us. First is what? I on. Second is what? I off, right? Now, they are all in one particular element, which is what? The button. Now, it's that button that you click. And once you click that button, it automatically what? Allows you add an event listener to that particular what button. So let me just show us what I'm trying to say. Now, in this new JS, I'm just going to, so this particular JavaScript file should just be for functionality. So one thing is that you should not mix up your Firebase authentication or whatever code that you're writing with your normal JavaScript. So what do? You go ahead and what you just write it out like this. So now what are we going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and bring out, I'm going to say password show and ID feature. Good. Now, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring out what? This password ID, right? So let me just split my screen, please. So I'll be able to bring out this password. Sign up, yeah. So password ID, right? So we're going to say const password equals to what? Document dot query selector, right? Now we're going to say password. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Are we getting the value of the password, or they're not getting the value of the password? This is where it gets interesting. Oh, hash password. Are we getting the value of the password? You know, when we wanted to authenticate users, we're getting value of password, right? Remember, see it in this place here. What do you have? Password dot what? Value. You understand? Now, in this particular place, now in this new JS, are we also going to get the value of that particular password? So I need everybody to let me know. Okay. One reason. Follow up. Okay. Do you agree? Mm. Now, don't worry about the security in this place, because security is not what we are really interested in here. What I'm just interested in is, oh, we just want to like display whatever password that you are writing. On Facebook, now you can, if you're writing your password, you can see what you're writing, or choose not to see it. That's what we want to focus on. So how exactly should we go ahead and what do something like this? Yeah. In the eye of, we can what? So, Mr. John, what's your answer? Do you have an answer? Okay. So, now, just to answer our question, we don't need the value. Now, why don't we need the value? Because we are not really interested in using the value of whatever the user is inputting. What we are interested in is in that particular input field, what are we writing there? Now, whatever we're writing there, we want to be able to see it, or we don't want to be able to see it. So we're not interested in the value. We're not interested in authenticating or using anything with value. That's interested in authenticating or just seeing it. That's what we want to do. Yes, it's the value. But we are not, how do I put it? We don't want to get the input, the value input. No, we don't need it. We don't need it, exactly. We just want to be able to see it. And since we're not really seeing that part, we're not seeing the password input, whatever writing inside of the input, not the value. Now, we've gotten this. The next thing we need to get is what? We need to get this particular button, which is what? Hide. Now, it is this button that we click on that will now toggle between eye on and eye off. What am I saying? It is this button that we're going to add that event listener of click to that will now allow us to toggle between eye on and eye off. So we'll bring in this, we can say const btn equals to what? The query selector, what is the ID is what? Hide. So you can say hash hide. Now, similarly, we have the same thing. We can say const show button, show btn. This stands for what? Showing password equals what? Document the query selector. Is it show? Eye on. You know what? I'm going to change this to show because I think show is better. Off. I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to call this off btn and then off. I think this works. Now we've brought out the 4 things that we're going to need, and then we're now going to go ahead and what? Write our code or functionality. Now this is where I now start asking questions. So you've done JavaScript small, a little bit of JavaScript. So this question is going to touch you. Okay, so what am I saying? Let me just give us the flow. Then I'm going to ask questions. This is the flow. The flow is that whenever a user clicks on that particular button on btn, what do you want? You want show button to show password and hide of btn. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that what? Whenever I click on this btn, right, what should happen is that whatever password I was writing there should show, right, and then hide the what? The hide btn. So right now, what are you saying? What are you saying here? Show btn, right? But it is hide. Like the password is being. Now, if you click on this, if this place should not change what? Showing the password, this place should not change what? Hide btn. That's the flow. Now, for us to get something like this, what are we going to use? Function, yes, but we're going to be writing something inside of that function. On click, yes, but the on click is going to have the function in it. But there is something that I want us to talk about. Something that I want us to talk about. Now, let me give us an expo. If this particular one that is here now is, as you can see, it's passworded. What should you see here? Show btn. Now, when you now click on show btn, what do you see? You should see password, and then this is what? Hide btn or off btn. Now, once you now click on this should change from off btn to what? Show, and it should change from what? Showing password to what? Hide. Do you get it now? Now, how do you create something like that? Say it. Say it. Yes. Where were you going to say? Yes, but it's correct. If and else. Conditionals. What is the condition there? The condition is that if you are seeing password, change this particular icon to this. Else, if you are not seeing password, change the particular icon to this. Do you understand it now? Now, how exactly are you not going to know if you are seeing password or not? How are you going to know if this password is showing or not? Now, let me not put us in too much this thing. Let me just go ahead and explain it to us. What can you see in this place? type of what? Now, the reason why this input is showing as a password is because of what? The reason why this input is showing as a password is because of what? We gave it the type of password. The reason why an input will be shown as an email is because of what? We gave it the type of what? Email. Now, the reason why this particular input is hiding characters is because of what? We gave it the type of password. So that's how we're going to check. If the password type or if the type of this particular element is password, what do you want? Change to what? Text. What am I saying? If password type equals password, right? That means at that time, that particular thing is what? Password. I need to change the type to what? To text. So that whenever I click on show BTN, that type is going to change from what? Password to what? Text. Is it clear to us now? Now, if it is now what? Text, that means that time I on is now on. If it's now on text, what do you want? Change it back to what? To offline password. And that's basically what you want. Clear? Do you understand now? So how are we going to go ahead and do this? Now, very, very easy. First thing first, add it to an event listener. First things first, add it to an event listener. So how are you going to add it to an event listener? So we're going to say btn dot what? Add event listener. We're going to listen for a what? A click. Now, don't forget, what you're adding as event listener is what? This particular hide button, which is the O button in this place. Because in the end, what you're going to be clicking is this button. So when you now click this button, it's going to be changing automatically by itself. You're going to specify that in your logic. Now, click btn. So we're going to say, oh, we're not going to create a function, an arrow function. Sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah, an arrow function. Now we're going to say if password, I don't like this expression that is given to us, but if password dot type, if it is value, dot value, right? If password dot type, now what's the password? This particular password there. Now you see why we're not getting the value. Do you see why we're not getting the value? We are interested in the input so we can compare the type. Okay, you have a question? Yes. Yes, you can. You can. Well, you can call anyone that you want to call. ID your class. This is why I gave it an ID because I want to use ID in JavaScript and start with class CSS. Now, if password or type, you see why we are not calling the input the value now. If we call the value here, we will not be able to compare the type of input. Do you get it now? That's what I'm calling type here. So if password or type equals password. So what are we going to do? So as you can see, we are comparing the name now. So if this password or type is equal to a password, what exactly do you want? So what you want is that what you want password dot type to change to what? Text. Now remember that when I was talking about input, I said when we talk about input, right? We have a lot of input. So as you can see, let's check it out. You have input of checkbox, you have a lot of them. Then you have input of text. You understand it now? So when I change it to text, what will now happen? If I click on that thing, password automatically changes to what? Text. Now, after password changes to text, what exactly do I want? Now I can see the text, right? Now I want that I on to change to what? I off. That means I on needs to what? Go, I off needs to what? Come. So how exactly are we going to do that? So we can say this particular I off show button. So we can say show btn dot style dot display should be equals to none. Don't forget none. None means it's not going to show again. Then I now want this off btn to come up, which is not going to be what? Off btn dot style dot display should not be equals to what? Block. I think we've done this a lot of times. I think everybody should understand this now. Now, this new JS, I'm going to add it to this place. to my sign up page. So I'm going to say script source. I'm going to say new.js. Now let us check it out and let's see what we have. So if I refresh and I try to do the same thing here, I'm going to say Paul, then write anything here. Then let us try what happens. If I click on it, as you can see, it is showing now. You understand it now? Now that is how you can work on it. So as you can, mainly it should change to what eye off. So now we're going to create functionality for this eye off also. Now, how are we going to work on the eye off? Tell me. Else, right? And why is it else? Is that going to be else if password dot type, as you can see, just like the reverse, equals what? Text. Do you get it now? What do you want? You want the opposite of this. Password dot type will now be equals to what? Password, right? Then show btn dot style dot display will now be what? Block. Off btn dot style dot display will now be what? None. So go ahead. So I'm going to say show btn dot style dot display should be equals to what? Block. Right? Then off btn dot style dot display should give you what? None. Now let us check it out and let's see what we have. So now if I refresh it and then I just go ahead and write something here. So let's try it out. So if you see this, if I write anything now, now I can click on it, show my BTN, click on it, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Now this is how you can do something like this very easily. So as you can see, it wasn't hard, it was just normal functionality. So what do you want? Password show and hide feature. You want to be able to show password. You want to be able to. Now this is strictly just if and else statement that we've done. So combination of what you've known in JavaScript is what you can use in what? Getting is what you can use in getting results anytime that you try to do something. Now that's basically what you need to do. Now this is everything about this. You don't even need to worry about it. Here's how you can get your delete feature or your show button feature. Do you understand? Clear? Very clear. Okay. I'm happy, but it's very clear. So at least we make progress today. Now, the next thing that we'll be talking about now is we're going to okay, I don't think that's important. We're just going to go ahead and work on the login feature. I'm going to give us time to write this out now. So once we get back, we'll talk about how to implement the login feature with Firebase.